Hacker.
Talk about a fried egg. I lasted about 5 minutes out there. I said, to heck with this. I'll do this in the morning. And I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. She made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Wednesday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us as we are now 4 days away, 89 little hours away from kickoff in Miami, Florida. The Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins to kick off their NFL regular seasons respectfully. Of course, the NFL season at large kicks off about 24 hours from right now with the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs Friday in Brazil. That's right, Brazil. You got Green Bay, Philadelphia. Of course, you have an entire slate of college games Saturday, a full NFL Sunday, and Monday Night Football. Ironically enough, it's Leonard Floyd and the San Francisco 49ers against Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. If you'll remember, Leonard Floyd last year for Buffalo is the guy that sacked Aaron Rodgers when the Achilles went on the first Monday night game of the year. Leonard Floyd is now with the 49ers playing Aaron Rodgers the first Monday night game of the year. A little bit of irony there. We'll see. Hopefully history doesn't repeat itself. But we are absolutely loaded Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, as football season has arrived. Of course, a great slate of high school action in Northeast Florida on Friday evening as well. Guest lineup looks like this tonight. I was down in the Jaguar locker room. We had a little locker room talk today with linebacker Ventrell Miller, linebacker Chad Muma, and offensive lineman Cooper Hodges. You'll hear each of those conversations tonight on Hacker After Dark. Ventrell Miller and Chad Muma coming up in about 15 minutes or so. Cooper Hodges towards the top of the 9 o'clock hour. With Ventrell and Cooper in particular, they're making their NFL regular season debuts on Sunday, right? Second-year guys, both were out due to injury last year. So both Ventrell Miller and Cooper Hodges making their debuts in the regular season. Chad Muma, coming off a very impressive training camp, certainly has more of a role on a Ryan Nielsen defense than he did under Mike Caldwell. So we'll talk about all that with Miller, Muma, and Hodges. That comes up later on this evening with our Jaguars locker room talk. Also, former Jaguar offensive lineman Leon Searcy. You hear him every day on Prime Time. You get him weekly here on Hacker After Dark, as we will talk Jags, mix in a little Miami Hurricanes as well. To the victors go the spoils. We'll do all of that with Leon coming up in about 30 minutes. And also, we'll head to Gainesville. Big news out in Gainesville. Nick De La Torre on 3, Gators Online. We'll recap Miami, put the final touches on that, preview the rest of the year, which begins with Samford coming up this Saturday. And it appears that DJ Lagway is going to be your starting quarterback, the true freshman, the 5-star quarterback from the state of Texas, who got in the fourth quarter last week when Graham Mertz was out in concussion protocol. Mertz has not practiced all week, and according to Billy Napier, all eyes are now pointing in the direction of DJ Lagway being the starter for Florida on Saturday evening. So we got a lot to get into. We're jam-packed. We're with you till 10 o'clock tonight. As always, Jacksonville, we are glad you are spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. Every night here on Hacker After Dark, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night and Dylan Denmark. Let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal? What is the big deal?
No big deal. It is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
4 days away from Jacksonville and Miami to kick off the Jaguars' 2024 regular season. So let me ask you, what are your realistic, and that's a funny word for some football fans, but realistic expectations for Jacksonville entering 2024? Keep in mind, this is a team that lost 5 out of 6 to end 2023. It's a team that lost Calvin Ridley in free agency, released veterans like Rayshon Jenkins and Darius Williams, Trey Herndon, DeJuan Smoot, just to name a few. A lot of roster turnover. A team that did not go to the playoffs last year. And a team that, by and large, is not being picked except sporadically to win the division this year. 90% of division prognostications are going towards Houston when it comes to the AFC South. Yet, I think I have a pretty good feel for some Jaguar fans here in this city. As a matter of fact, I was one of you for many years. Of course, now I'm an objective broadcast journalist. But a lot of my friends are season ticket holders, interacting with you on social media, talking with you out and about. I get a feeling that even though this team wasn't a playoff team last year, even though this team lost 5 out of their last 6, even though this team lost arguably one of their best players in Calvin Ridley, despite all of that, you, the hardworking men and women of Jacksonville, Florida, of Northeast Florida, your realistic expectations are quite high for the Jaguars. And I think they should be. This is a better team than they were in 2023. I think it's the best team Trent Baalke has assembled here. Certainly the owner has high expectations. He told the team as much. It's time to win. And he made sure to tell them he wasn't misquoted. The expectation is winning. So not only do I feel you, the Jaguar fan base, has high expectations that are realistic, certainly Shad Khan has high expectations. The Jacksonville Jaguars on paper are a dangerous football team. A dangerous football team. I love what they've done at wide receiver with Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas and Devin Duvernay to add with Christian Kirk and Parker Washington. I think Evan Ingram is going to have an enormous year. Travis Etienne is a top 10 running back in the league. I think Trevor Lawrence, when he's on, is a top 10 quarterback in the league. It's going to come down to the offensive line. We spent a lot of time on that. I'm going to be a glass half full guy. And I want to see them on Sunday to see how they perform. Defensively, Ryan Nielsen has brought an attitude to these guys. I love the acquisitions of Eric Armstead and Darnell Savage and Ronald Darby. I think Joshua Hines-Allen, Foye Oluokun, Trayvon Walker, Andre Sisco. I like it. I like it a lot. And we're going to find out awfully quick. Because as we've talked about, the first 4 games out of the gate, beginning with Miami on Sunday in South Florida, the first 4, Dolphins, Browns, Bills, Texans. What do all 4 of those teams have in common? All 4 of them were in the AFC playoffs last year. And you got to play 3 of them on the road. Miami, Buffalo, Houston. We're going to know in the next 4.5 weeks where this Jaguar team is in the tier system in the American Football Conference. I've said repeatedly, give me 2-2 in the first 4 and I would run to the hills. I would take that in an absolute heartbeat. My fear is that 0-4 is much more likely than 4-0. Make no mistake about it. The Jaguars are good. They're better than last year. Expectations should be high. But it is a tough putt out of the gate. I'm not sure if there's a football team in the NFL that has a harder opening 4-game stretch than Jacksonville. I can't imagine, and I don't know this, but I just can't imagine there's another team that opens up with 4 straight playoff teams from last year. That's tough. Make no bones about it. That's tough. But I do kind of like it. Because after those first 4, Then you get Indianapolis, and then New England, and then Chicago. You're going to know where you are as a football team in the first 4 weeks. And I think where this team is as a football team, I got them 9-8. That's what I had them at when we did our season predictions when the schedule came out. I've looked at the schedule again in the last few days as the season approaches. I still think they are a 9-8, potentially 10-7 football team. Is that good enough? If I tell you right now the Jaguars go 9-8 and get a wild card spot, is that okay with you? Or are your expectations higher than that? What about 10-7? Is that okay with you? I think anything north of 10-7, you're getting into that unrealistic territory based on this schedule. It's a difficult schedule. I mean, not only the first 4, but you got to play Green Bay. You got to play Houston again. You got to play Philadelphia on a Sunday night in Philly, right? I mean, that's not easy. Make no mistake about it. You get Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. It is a difficult schedule, at least parts of it. But I think 9-8, 10-7 should absolutely be your expectation. It certainly is mine. I think those are realistic expectations. I will tell you, and we'll kind of do this more tomorrow night, I don't like the Jaguars' chances on Sunday. Maybe my opinion will change in 24 hours. Look, Miami is supposed to win. Miami's the favorite. They're at home. It's opening day. The Dolphins are supposed to win this game. Can the Jaguars go in there and, quote, steal one? Yeah, of course they can. Would I pick Jacksonville to win right now? Probably not. I just, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua, that running game, Dolphins are going to score. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The Dolphins are going to score. The question is, can the Jaguars keep up? But then again, Jaguar defense was sensational in the preseason. And yeah, I know they didn't play a lot of starter on other rosters, Kansas City, Tampa, and Atlanta. But I don't care who you're playing. When you play 12 quarters of preseason football and you only allow 2 touchdowns in 12 quarters, you're doing something right. So I am intrigued to see Ryan Nielsen in this defense. The tough task to stop Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Tua, particularly Ryan Nielsen's first game as Jaguar D coordinator. But it is intriguing to see what this defense has for one of the best offenses in the National Football League. A couple of players on that defense, linebacker Ventrell Miller, linebacker Chad Muma. Ventrell Miller will be making his NFL regular season debut Sunday in Miami. Chad Muma had one of the best training camps, in my opinion, of any Jaguar defensive player. I thought Muma was terrific. I think Ryan Nielsen's scheme is much better for Chad Muma than he ever had it with Mike Caldwell. I had a little Jaguar locker room talk with both Jaguar linebackers earlier today, and you'll hear those conversations next. A Wednesday evening, a rainy Wednesday evening. Be careful on the roadways out there. Good grief. I know over in Mandarin, we got like 4.5 inches of rain this afternoon, and this morning it was raining again when I left. So be careful on the roadways. No question about it. But on this rainy Wednesday, we're glad you're with us. Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM. We'll have a little Jaguar locker room talk with Ventrell Miller and Chad Muma, and that's coming up next.
Kick off your college football weekend with a Bueller Air and Plumbing College Kickoff.
I'm Matt Hayes, and I'll help you slide into a college football Saturday with pregame news and notes.
Friday evening at 6. Brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue on 1010XL.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab Crab House.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate, full of choices and all of them good.
The average cost associated with childhood cancer is a startling $833,000. This is Tom Coughlin, and September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Help the J Fund raise awareness to help our neighbors and community members tackling this devastating disease. Visit tcjfund.org/September for more information.
If you're searching for a new fence installation, challenge yourself to find a fence company with more positive online reviews than Superior Fence and Rail. With over 3,000 reviews and a 4.9 out of 5 review range, Superior Fence and Rail is, well, superior. So take the online challenge or let their professional team show you what superior service looks like. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. Everyone who puts on a high school football uniform dreams of Friday Night Glory.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, Friday Night Lights.
Join Hacker and Andrew Gibson, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, takes the field this season at 1-1 Financial Ballpark as the AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins. Tickets start at just $5, fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids run the bases after every Sunday game. JackShrimp.com, Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable, family fun.
Hello there. Brendan from Play It Again Sports here to congratulate all the parents for surviving another summer. The kiddos are back to school, and you know what that means? Sports are back. But don't fret. Play It Again Sports has the gear you need at prices worthy of excessive celebration. From sluggers and shooters to clappers and benders, Play It Again Sports can turn your kids into goats. Stop in today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainjacks.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting!
Hey, Hicken here. Are you tired of having your carpets professionally cleaned only to have them looking dingy again? Zero Res can help. I'll tell you what, they have the technology. Zero Res uses its patented ZR water that cleans beautifully without using any soaps, detergents, or shampoos. That means zero residue left behind. And guess what? Zero Res falling back in time for September. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129, and we'll clean a 4th room for free. That's right. The 4th room is on me. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it backwards. It's a right way to clean.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hicken here for About 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of About 9. Visit Bow 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bow 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
This season, check out our revamped website at southernsteerbutcher.com. Click on the Promotions tab, and our Jacksonville weekly grilling specials will hit you in the face like a hot route over the middle.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Earlier today, Miller Electric Center, the very first open locker room for the Jacksonville Jaguars of the season. We'll be down there every week here on Hacker After Dark. Had the opportunity to catch up with a bunch of guys, including a couple of linebackers. Now, you'll hear from Chad Muma in just a moment, but before that, former Florida Gator coming into his second year, fourth-round draft pick back in 2023, Ventrell Miller. Now, Ventrell got hurt in the preseason last year. He's come back from that injury, the Achilles injury, and has had a terrific training camp. And he will be making his regular season debut in the National Football League on Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Miami Dolphins. I had the opportunity earlier today, a little locker room talk with Jaguar linebacker Ventrell Miller.
All right, Jaguar locker room, getting ready for the Miami Dolphins. We got Jaguar linebacker Ventrell Miller here with us on 1010XL. Ventrell, week one, man, how excited are you?
Man, I'm too excited, man, to actually go out there and play my first real game, so I'm excited about it.
I mean, year two for you in the league, but it will be your first regular season game because of what happened last year. I mean, this is what you've worked your entire life for, man.
For sure. Like you said, I worked my entire life for it, so it's time to go put it out on the field. So I'm excited to do that. Excited to take the field with my brother this Sunday.
From a defensive standpoint, I mean, here we go. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua. I mean, that's a great challenge to start.
Nah, definitely excited for the challenge. We know they got speed out there, so excited for the challenge. Ready to start that, I'd say. Start the speed.
Opening day is always a special day around the league. I mean, what's kind of the vibe in this room? Not only is it opening day, but it's a battle in the state of Florida, Miami versus Jacksonville. There's a lot of aspects of this game.
Most definitely. I feel like whoever win this game, you own the state. So that's how I'm looking at it. That's my mentality towards it. So, but great opportunity to go down there and get our first win and go 1-0.
You know, the defense, obviously, in the preseason, 2 touchdowns allowed in only in 12 quarters. I mean, you guys were getting it done in the preseason. You feel you can carry that momentum over to the regular season?
Most definitely. Coach did a good job of just having that different mindset, bringing a different mindset in. I think all the guys have just picked up on that, and that's exactly how we're going to come in that first game.
Talking to people down in Miami, normally they get an advantage with the heat in September. That ain't going to bother you guys, particularly you. I mean, you've been in Florida your whole life, but I mean, the heat's not going to be a big deal for the Jaguars on Sunday.
Nah, not at all. Definitely, we getting conditioning throughout the week, also hydrating throughout the week. So stand up on that, and that should be a good, yeah, like I say, good opportunity to go out there. So
as far as getting ready for your first NFL game, guys like Devin, Foye, are they kind of showing you the ropes a little bit? Some of the veterans in this room.
Yeah, most definitely. Just how to prepare throughout the week, I'd say. The things that they doing, looking at film, the tips and stuff that they going in and seeing. So just being a pro, they teaching just to be a pro and how you handle business throughout the week.
As we wrap up, a lot of Jaguar fans making the trip down to Miami. Kind of message to the Jaguar fans you got. They're going out in South Florida.
Hey, go Duval. Already. That's
Final question, man. Florida, come on, man. What happened on Saturday? What happened?
I hate to talk about it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hurt me bad, but hey, we on to the next week. We on to the next week. We're in the next week, so
that's all you can do, right?
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Hey, Ventrell, best of luck on Sunday.
All right, I appreciate that.
There you go. On to the next week. I mean, he's a Gator through and through, but come on, Ventrell. That was not good by your alma mater on Saturday. Nevertheless, I'll tell you this, man. And Denmark, I like to think I'm maybe more objective now at the age of 40 than I probably was at your age. I mean, certainly. When I was 25 on the radio, I didn't have a whole lot of objective bones in my body when it came to, Florida and Jacksonville. But I can criticize Florida with the best of them. I can criticize Jacksonville with the best of them when warranted. So I don't think this is an orange and blue goggles thing or a teal and black blinders thing. I'm just a fan of Ventrell Miller, the person. He's just a fun dude. He's enjoyable to talk to. He's a good football player. He's a nice guy, very giving with his time to us in the media. He is a very, very easy guy to root for.
Yeah, especially, I just remember at Florida when he got hurt his last year, and it kind of sucked to see him go down what was it, a couple of games into the season. You didn't see him finish, and then see him go down last year too. You just want to see him be healthy this year and see what he can do this year.
And honestly, we always talk about character, right? Right around draft time, certainly the type of character the Jaguars are looking for. Let's be honest. There was a time years and years ago where some of the guys in that locker room didn't exactly have the best character, all right? There were some issues in there. Being down there basically every training camp, and now, I'll be in the locker room. My plan is to be in there every week this season. There's a lot of just really good guys that are easy to root for. I'll tell you another one. Plays the same position as Ventrell Miller, and that's Chad Muma. Chad Muma coming into his third year. He was a third-round draft pick in 2022 out of Wyoming. Maybe miscast in Mike Caldwell's scheme. Ryan Nielsen comes in, and I got to tell you, Chad Muma had the best training camp he's had in 3 years. I thought Muma was fantastic in training camp. I thought he was very good in the preseason. There's certainly more of a role for Chad Muma with Ryan Nielsen's defense than there was with Mike Caldwell's defense. I had the opportunity also today to do a Jaguar locker room talk with Jaguar linebacker Chad Muma earlier at the Miller Electric Center.
All right, Ryan the Hacker Green, 1010XL in the Jaguar locker room. Jaguars getting ready for the Miami Dolphins. We got Jaguar linebacker Chad Muma here with us on 1010XL. Chad, how we doing?
Doing well. Looking forward to this week one.
Week number one, man. How exciting is it?
No, it's very exciting. You you got that bad taste from last season still in your mouth, and you're just ready to get it out. This is what you've been preparing for all off season, all training campus for this first week matchup. So looking forward to it.
A lot of guys have alluded to last season. I mean, that was 7.5, 8 months ago. That's still fresh for you guys, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely still fresh. I mean, you think about the way we started last year, then how we finished last season. It wasn't up to standard. It wasn't up to what we thought we were capable of, and so it definitely leaves a bad taste in your mouth when that's kind of the disappointing ending that you had. So really looking forward to this year.
Let's talk about you in particular. We asked the fans, who had good camps, and they'll list off some guys, and among that list is Chad Muma. Do you feel like you had a good camp, a good preseason? The fans sure think you did.
Yeah, I think in those preseason games they were fun. I was able to run around, make some plays here and there, and I think it's just that preparation that we've had and the defensive scheme that we have in at least allows me to play a little fast, and the guys that I have around me pushing me every single day. So I think it's just continuing that work going into the season now.
It looks different for you in Ryan Nielsen's scheme as opposed to what you were doing the last 2 years. Would you agree with that? And maybe the scheme better fits your game?
No, definitely. I think his scheme is very complimenting to the linebackers and allows us to play fast, and so I think that's definitely part of it.
Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Tua. I mean, let's dive right in, right? Week one, let's go. What are the challenges the Miami Dolphin offense presents?
Yeah, you just said it. They got speed, at the wide receiver position, and they also got speed at the running back position. And, they have a lot of movement, try and get you out your gap and hit those downhill. Then they have a lot of, turbos and motions to try and get those receivers open. So I think it really boils down to, making sure that you're in your right spot, your eyes are right, and your keys are right.
Any game week one is going to be fun, but it's Miami and Jacksonville. It's a battle for Florida. A lot of Jaguar fans making that trip down to South Florida. There'll be some Duval in the stands. It's got to add a little something to it, right?
It definitely adds something to it, especially when you get the fans out there and to your games, and especially for a week one game. It will be awesome to have some Duval fans out there.
Hey, Chad, we'll be watching. Best of luck on Sunday.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
There you go, Chad Muma. And again, I think he's had a very good camp. And you look at the linebacker room, we just talked to two of them, right? Ventrell Miller, Chad Muma. You obviously Foye Oluokun in there, Devin Lloyd in there, Caleb Johnson, who's a special teams standout. Yasir Abdullah is now listed as a full-time linebacker in this scheme. So I like the linebacker room. There was a time where we worried about depth in that room as recently as last year, as a matter of fact, after Ventrell's injury. I don't think you worry about that anymore. I like the 5 or 6 guys you have in that linebacker room in this Jaguar defense. Again, Jaguars and the Dolphins, Sunday, 1 o'clock. You'll hear the game right here on 1010XL. After the game will be the debut of the 2024 fifth quarter. The head coach, Dave Campo, the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy, and yours truly. Another year of the fifth quarter, 2 hours after every Jaguar game goes final. Really looking forward to getting together with Coach Campo and Leon to break it all down. And we'll kick off that program Sunday, probably around 6 o'clock or so, right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Again, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Dolphins go final. Let's talk to a man that will join me on that program, former Pro Bowler, offensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars, my buddy Leon Searcy. You hear him every day on XL Primetime. You get him here weekly now on Hacker After Dark through the regular season. We'll obviously spend a majority of the time on the Jaguars, but I got to give Leon his props. The Miami Hurricane blood that's flowing through his veins. What was his reaction to his alma mater completely boat racing Florida in the swamp on Saturday? We'll talk a little Hurricanes. We'll talk some Jaguars. We'll do it next with my buddy Leon Searcy. Wednesday night, Jacksonville, Florida. We're glad you're with us right here on Hacker After Dark.
He's our pathfinder through the weeds of quarterback chaos.
I'm Denny Thompson, and they call me the quarterback whisperer.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drip. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, everyone. It's football season, and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion. Wow, customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. You know, back on February the 20th, I weighed 317 pounds. Yeah, 317 pounds. I woke up this morning at 225 pounds, 92 pounds down in just over 6 months. And it's all thanks to Awaken 180, the best weight loss program I've ever been on. It's life-changing, and I'm not understating that. It's life-changing, and quite frankly, it probably saved my life. Again, if it's time for you to lose weight like it was for me, whether it's 10, 20, 30 pounds, or whether it's a ton of weight like I had to lose, take it from a guy who's lost 90 pounds on this program. Awaken 180 works. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. That company, that program, they're changing lives. I'm one of them. You could be the next. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a dust bunny breeder from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Steve Johnson. Welcome to the show, Steve.
It's great to be here, Alex.
Yeah, you don't have to answer it in the form of a question, Steve.
What is this game show?
See, that's another question.
Are you going to ask me about air conditioners?
Yeah, okay. How about we just send the Bueller guys over and you can annoy them with all your questions? Johnny?
That's right, Steve. Bueller Air and Plumbing can answer all your air conditioning questions. Repair options, replacement models, and how to make your AC last longer while saving electricity. Making sure you are cool.
Where is the parking lot?
You're killing me, Steve.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
It's poker with a purpose. The Hold'em for Life Texas Hold'em Tournament at Blessed Trinity Parish Hall benefits the Women's Help Center with a focus on expectant mothers and newborns. If you'd like to play or sponsor, call 904-868-8873.
Help make Jacksonville safer and play a round of golf at the First Coast Crime Stoppers Golf Tournament, October 21st at Amelia River Club.
If you could benefit from a grief and loss support group, call Haven Hospice at 279-1677.
Having a mentor can positively change a young life right here in Jacksonville. It only takes 4 to 7 hours a month to be a big brother or big sister and change a life forever. Become a big today at bbsnefl.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Oh, it's that time of year. Winning season is back. Football is back. And MyBookie's here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. They do such a fantastic job. They've got live betting. If a heavy favorite gets off to a slow start, that's something to look to take advantage of. They also have a fantastic loyalty program. Loyalty pays off with MyBookie. The more you play, the more you win. It's simple. Climb Climb through the tiers of the Loyalty Rewards program to unlock even more epic promotions, exclusive giveaways, and bigger rewards. MyBookie is the lock of the century. It's going to be such a fun season. Again, they've got prop bets as well. If you can think about it, if you can imagine it, MyBookie is going to deliver it for you. When you sign up, be sure to use promo code 1010XL to lock in some bonus on your first deposit. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime, and make sure your season is a winning season with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoor Show.
With tips and stories.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Dolphins, Sunday at 1 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL. 2 hours after the game ends, you'll have the head coach, Dave Campo. You'll have yours truly. And, of course, the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy, for another year of the fifth quarter. And speaking of Leon Searcy, let's talk to the man that's a very proud Miami alum this week. The U goes into the swamp and just takes care of Florida. And, of course, Leon was a former Pro Bowl offensive tackle right here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Leon, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. The question is, how are you? Have you recovered?
Well, I told this story on social media. I went down to Epcot on Sunday to kind of clear my head after Saturday's game. Figure the last Sunday before the Jaguars. And there were some more Miami jerseys, Leon, more Miami shirts. There were Go Cane chants in the streets of Walt Disney World. And right on, good for them. You guys came in and absolutely laid the smack down, as The Rock would say, on the Florida Gators. I imagine you had to be on cloud nine Saturday night with your alma mater.
I was, Hack. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really was. I was a little concerned going into the season because Miami had been given all this hype all off season about the recruiting and about the transfer and about Cam Ward and all this kind of stuff. And listen, Hack, for the mass majority of the offseason, I was window shopping. I was not going in the store and going to purchase anything until I saw the product on the field. And when I saw the product on the field, Hack, I was very impressed. I was thoroughly impressed with Cam Ward. I was with his poise, with his accuracy, his athleticism, all that kind of stuff. I felt like T.O. at that press conference and crying and saying, "This is my quarterback." That's what I felt like. I felt like this is my quarterback. I got emotional, Hack, because over the years, Miami, you saw that stat during the game. They showed a stat during the game while I was watching it. It said since 1990, in the first 3 rounds, the Miami Hurricanes have not had a quarterback drafted in the first 3 rounds since 1990. And I said to myself, that is ridiculous. So, yeah, but Cam Ward, he's solid. It's one game. Listen, and this is why I figured out, Hack, there's going to be a clear overreaction by my fan base and by your fan base, no matter what the outcome was. Right now, everybody's on the hype train with Miami, national championship, and everybody's giving Billy Napier the business. So that's the nature of the business, and that's what you sign up for.
Leon Searcy here with us on Hacker After Dark. Quickly, Leon, because I want to spend a majority of the time on the Jags, but Billy Napier is getting grief, and with good reason. That was pathetic. What about Mario? Mario Cristobal, you have a personal relationship with Mario. Obviously, you guys go way back. You worked with him at FIU, obviously the whole Miami alum thing. So you have a connection there, certainly. There was hot seat talk for him, particularly if Miami would have lost. But because Miami came in and boat raced Florida, to be blunt about it, what does this do for Mario in the eyes of Hurricane fans?
Well, I mean, Mario and I do have a relationship. We played together. We played together in 2 national championships in '89 and '91. So I'm rooting for the guy because he was my teammate. He was my brother. Brothers in arms, as offensive linemen would say. So I was rooting for him. But I mean, the last 2 years were just unacceptable by not only the fan base but by the alumni base. So we were very interested to see how this team was going to respond come this year. And I remember that when I saw Mario about 4 months ago. Can't remember where we were. I think it was at some ACC conference or whatever, and he came by me and he said, "Bro, we're going to be different this year." That's what he whispered in my ear. He said, "We're going to be different." He said, "They're competing." He said, "It's going to be like days of old." And I heard them, and I listened to them, and don't get me wrong, they showed out. They showed up and showed out in Gainesville. It was a business trip. They took care of business. Now, in my opinion, you've got to win the ACC. You've got to make the playoffs. I mean, those got to be the expectations of Miami right now, after coming off a performance like that against Florida.
From your Miami Hurricanes to your Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars and the Dolphins, Leon, Sunday at 1 o'clock to kick off the NFL regular season. You, the head coach Dave Campo, myself, will have the 5th quarter 2 hours after that game goes final on Sunday. Before we really break down the game and the season ahead, just the whole concept of opening day, Leon, the first Sunday of the NFL season, how excited are the players to kick this thing off?
Well, they should be very excited. I mean, listen, I hated training camp. I hated minicamp. I always felt like they were in the way because I loved football. But I knew that was a means to an end. I had to go through it to get myself ready for a long season. But I loved the opening day of the season because, everybody's undefeated. Everybody has the aspirations of holding up that Lombardi. And now you just got to go through the rigors and all of the different plays and the different concepts and formations and all that kind of stuff to get yourself put your game plan together so you can go out and I know it's cliche, but it's really you just got to take it one game at a time. You can't look too far down the road. You just got to handle the business at hand. And right now, if you're a Jaguar player, the Dolphins are in the way. They're in the way. It's going to be a tall task to go down into Miami and go down and beat them, but it's got to be a business trip. You got to be about the business of playing ball. And the one thing that Miami's always had to their advantage, not only as a team, but the distractor of going down to Miami. It's a lot to do in Miami. A lot to do, a lot of distractions in Miami. So it's going to be incumbent upon those guys to stay up out the streets, stay in your hotel room, watch your film, and treat it like a business trip. It's not the time to be going to Miami trying to have fun and great time, all that kind of stuff. You got to be about the business of beating the Dolphins come Sunday, and I hope that team takes that approach.
Talking to media members down in Miami, normally for the Dolphins, when they have a September 1 o'clock home game, it's against New England or Buffalo or somebody of that sort, and they have a clear advantage. You have a perspective. You've played in the heat in both Jacksonville and Miami. Will the heat affect Jacksonville down there, or is it very similar up here?
No, it's about the same. I mean, it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. And the good thing, you got to use the heat as your ally. I mean, most of the time, you're right, the Dolphins usually play a team up north that's not accustomed to that heat, and they have a clear-cut advantage against those teams because that heat up north is not the same as it is down south. But as far as Jacksonville goes, hell, you and I sat out there doing training camp. It was hot.
Yeah.
I mean, we were melting, absolutely. I felt like Frosty out there. I was melting. I swear I dropped at least 10 when I was out there. But, yeah, the players – They get their bodies acclimated to playing in that kind of weather, which is good. You got to use that heat as your ally. So I think as far as the heat goes, I call it the tie. But I think both teams are well equipped to handle the heat, no matter how hot it may be in Miami.
A couple of more for former Jaguar Pro Bowler offensive tackle Leon Searcy. You get him every week here on Hacker After Dark. You get him every day on XL Primetime. And beginning Sunday, we'll kick off the 5th quarter here on 1010 XL. All right, Leon, to the football team. Shad Khan, the owner, has made no bones about it. In fact, he doubled down in that series, The Hunt, on Jaguars.com. He told the players he was not misquoted. The expectation is winning. Everything is in place. They know now. The owner wants from them wins. Interesting that the owner made it that blunt, or do you like the pressure being anteed up a little bit here in 2024?
No, I like the pressure. I really do, and I like the fact that and Shah Khan has every right to say that to the players, because if you look at his checkbook, you look at the money that he spent on Trevor, on Josh Allen, and on Tyson Campbell. I mean, you're talking about clearly over $500 million of money collectively. So I mean. And he's sending the message too. You got to remember, all those guys that he paid that money to were guys that they drafted, and that's another reason he said what he said during the off season. He told the coaches, "Hey, look, we can't keep paying these free agencies to help make up for the mistakes that you made in the draft. You got to start developing this talent. So we can pay in-house players instead of having to go out in the street and bring guys in." So yeah, I don't have any problem with that. With the owner saying that, listen, the reason why he said it is because, quite frankly, I think that he was embarrassed by the way this team floundered towards the end. This team was 8-3, number one seed in the NFL, in the AFC, and then was ousted out of the playoffs because they only won one game out of 6. So I think that was a bit embarrassing to him as the owner. Because you get all that national attention by being the number one seed, and all of a sudden you do what you do towards the end. So he has every right to say what he says, and it's a lot of pressure and good. I like the fact that the division is going to be tougher. I really do. I think iron sharpens iron. I think the Texans are going to be. I think the Colts are going to be formidable. I think the Tennessee Titans, if you slip up, they'll get a win out of you. I mean, I remember what made this Jaguar team what it was when I played is because our division was tough. I mean, we had the Texans. I mean, we had the Titans in our division. We had the Steelers in our division, and we had the Ravens in our division. I mean, so that was a tall task. So I mean, it's going to be tough to win the division, and that means the Jaguars for 17 weeks has got to be on their A game.
Final moments with former Jaguar Pro Bowl offensive tackle Leon Searcy. All right, Leon, as far as the game on Sunday, one of the big conversations is the offensive line. The last time we saw the offensive line in a game that mattered, they were getting absolutely obliterated off the ball in Nashville, the goal line stand. The Jaguar season ended. They are healthier. They brought in Mitch Morse. Anton Harrison is in year 2. Cam Robinson's not suspended. There are different factors now, certainly. Ezra Cleveland's been here for an entire offseason. But 4/5 of that offensive line remains from those guys that took the field in Nashville in January. Is this offensive line better, or do you have concerns going into Sunday?
I do have concerns going into Sunday, but I think what advantage that the Jaguars have on the Dolphins' defensive front is that they're banged up. I mean, the Jaguars' offensive line has a clear-cut advantage over the defensive front with the Miami Dolphins because they're banged up, and they need to expose them and take advantage of that. I just come to the realization that this offensive line is not built for punishment. It's not built for speed. It's just built for I don't know. I don't want to say it's cozy. Let me just say that part. It's a cozy offensive line.
Finesse maybe. I mean, better in pass blocking than run blocking.
When I say cozy, I mean that they get on people. They get on people, but they don't blow people off the ball, and that can work to your advantage in some capacity. With ATN and his style of running, his slashing and style of running, Tank Bigsby, his style of running. So I think that if this offensive line uses their athleticism, because I just don't see them blowing people off the ball. I see them getting on people and causing defenses to stretch, and then maybe the running back goes on the backside or goes to the front side. But we've seen this offensive line long enough to know that they don't blow people off the ball. They're not furniture movers. They're very athletic, and you've got to call plays according to that. And if we can do that, and we can get on people, and we can finish, I think we got a shot come Sunday.
If you're the Jaguar offense, do you have to go in with the mindset that you got to score? I mean, let's be honest. We're all excited about the defense, but that's Jalen Waddle, that's Tyreek Hill, that's Tua, that's Achane and Mostert. I mean, the Dolphins are going to score on Sunday. I'm not breaking any news there. So if you're the Jaguars, you're going in knowing you're going to have to score.
Yeah, they won't have to score. I mean, here's the thing. That's why you need a run. Hacker, that's the reason why you need a efficient run game, so you can take away possessions away from the Dolphins and control the line of scrimmage, convert on third down, and control time of possession. And the more possessions you take away from the Dolphins, the less opportunity they have to score. But I'm not sure if this team is equipped to do that. So what needs to happen, in my opinion, is that, the defensive coordinator, Nelson, he's got to devise a way to make Tua uncomfortable. He's got to force some of his throws. He's got to get him out of the pocket. He's got to get a couple of touches on him, and not necessary sacks. I mean, I would love to see about 4 or 5 sacks in the game, but you got to put touches on them. When I mean, you got to knock them to the ground. You got to make you feel that the pressures of a 5, 6-man, 7-man, blitz scheme or front or whatever. Now you're gonna put pressure on the back end if you do that. All right. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the safeties and corners if you come up and want to touch them with 5 or 6-man blitzes. But hell, you got Darby on one side and you just paid Tyson Campbell a boatload of money. So just see what they got. But Tua cannot be comfortable back there. And then you got the Dolphins have a formidable run game too. Let's not forget about that. They got a formidable run game. So you first and foremost, you got to stop the run. You got to force them to be one-dimensional. And then when they're one-dimensional and they can't run the ball, then that's when you got to tap up Tua. You got to knock him to the ground. You got to force him out the pocket. You got to do whatever you do so he's not comfortable, so he can't see his receivers downfields on routes.
This is a tough game. Opener in Miami. The Dolphins are supposed to win. I mean, if you're Miami, you're supposed to win this game. Leon, can Jacksonville go down there and pull off an upset?
They can. They can. They absolutely can. And I think, listen, as much as we just talk about this game is more to do about Tua and Trevor. Who's going to shine the most? And I think that my concerns with Trevor early in training camp has been dissolved. He's looked very, very comfortable. He's looked very decisive. And he's been throwing darts. So if we get that Trevor Lawrence this Sunday, then I got to take the Jaguars. And we can get that Trevor that I saw the last few weeks, the last 3 or 4 weeks, not only in practice, but in preseason games. And I know people are going to say, well, that's preseason, it's different. It's absolutely right. The regular season is a whole nother beast. But I think, listen, if not now, then when? Mm-hmm. When is Trevor going to take that jump? And not because he got the contract, but when is Trevor going to be that guy? So, and this is his opportunity. The first 4 weeks of the season, you're going to play 4 playoff teams, and it's going to be rigorous. And I just want to see how he responds to it. And I think come Sunday, I think Trevor's going to respond to it. I think the Jaguars are going to come out there. They're going to squeak by with a win, but who cares? The hell with that. If you get a win is a win. But I think they're going to win on Sunday.
If you go into Miami and you win on opening day, that'll be a statement, no question about it. You get Leon Searcy every day on XL Primetime. You get him weekly during the season here on Hacker After Dark. And, of course, Leon, I'm telling you, man, it was one of my favorite things to do at the radio station. Anytime I can sit next to the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy, the head coach, Dave Campo, 2 hours after every Jaguar game, I know you're fired up for another year of the 5th quarter.
Oh, absolutely. I look forward to it. Absolutely. Me, you, and Coach Campo, knocking it out right after the game, absolutely. Have a great time with it.
Leon, have a great rest of your week. I will see you Sunday evening, and hopefully we're talking about a Jaguar victory, my friend.
You got it, bro.
Get the coach's perspective.
Constant improvement, every day, every week.
Doug Peterson joins the Frangie Show Fridays at 4:05.
Build that championship culture.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach. Hear the Florida Gators all season on 1010XL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Proud partner of the Florida Gators. And by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Hickett here. I want to talk skin along with my friends at Beaches Dermatology, reminding you to wear your sunscreen. Football season is back, baby. And with that, days under that bright sun. So when you load up that truck for the game day tailgate, or the chairs for your kids' flag games, or even the boat heading downtown to watch our Jags, make sure you bring the screen. Sunscreen, that is. It's a must here in Duval. But if you have any concerns right now, give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Universal Roof and Contracting has been protecting Florida homes from the elements for over 30 years. Call Universal Roof and Contracting today for a free roof inspection and get 15% off your roof repair or replacement. Plus, flexible financing options and payments as low as $115 a month. This offer expires September 30th. Call 855-ROOF-HELP.
License number CCC 1330747, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hey guys, this is David Garrard, and I want to tell you about Clearwater Irrigation. They put my new sprinkler system in at my new home at Jack's Beach, and I couldn't be happier. Oh, hey, John.
What's up, Dave? You know what this means. You're going to have to sing.
Man, I can't sing.
Then you'll fit right in, buddy. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers. Hit it, Dave.
And drainage, too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so here's a reminder to get screened.
Ackerman Cancer Center offers on-site imaging, including total body MRI. Early detection is the key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
9:04, right? September 4th. Had to talk to one of the local guys on the Jaguar roster. How about a guy making his NFL regular season debut on Sunday in Miami from Baker County High School to the Jacksonville Jaguars? Earlier today, Miller Electric Center had a little Jaguar locker room talk with offensive lineman Cooper Hodges. All right, Miller Electric Center, Jaguar locker room. Jaguars getting ready for the Miami Dolphins. We got Jaguar offensive lineman Cooper Hodges here with us on 1010XL. Cooper, how we doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just living the dream.
Debut for you on Sunday. Your regular season begins for the... No, you're good, buddy. So what's the vibe you got going into your first game in the National Football League?
I mean, it's very exciting. You can feel the energy in the building. You know, everybody's ready to go. It's week one. It's time to, set the tempo of how the season's going to go. We want to open up, come out strong, and just do what we've been doing this whole offseason, this whole training camp. So
Northeast Florida guy, about to play your first regular season game in the NFL with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a cool story, man. Do you appreciate how cool that is?
Absolutely, man. I know I'm extremely, extremely blessed and having the opportunity to come to my dream team, come to my hometown team. So I just take that with a just have that chip on my shoulder, just have a little bit of extra pride in everything I do, just knowing this is my city, my people, where I'm from. So it just adds a little bit of extra just to my day. You know what I mean? So
I had to talk to you. It is 904 day. And I saw the Jaguars tweeted out that picture of you and Mac Jones. It's kind of cool to have another local guy on the team with you.
Yeah. We played a lot of the same high schools, when we were coming up, and I mess with him all the time. And it's Baker County ever plays bowls, we're gonna have to go do something, we got to have something going on. But it is cool. Mac's awesome. Mac's a great guy, and we're extremely lucky to have him in the locker room for sure.
A couple more for Cooper Hodges. Battle of Florida on Sunday. Obviously, opening day is going to be exciting any way you slice it. But when it's Miami, it's Jacksonville. A lot of Jaguar fans making the trip down there on Sunday. That's going to be a fun environment on Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Absolutely, man. I mean, we want to be the best team in Florida, obviously, so it's exciting. We're gonna it's what's really cool. We always, I say cool, but we always talk about our edge is we practice in the heat every day, and Miami might be the only place. Miami, Tampa, arguably Houston. It's one of the hottest places too. So it's kind of, we both have that. We've been practicing in this heat, so we're both really used to it. I'm excited to see see how much our training comes in, how used we are to the heat, how adapt we are to it. So it's going to be a very, very cool environment.
Young guy like you, whether it's Mitch Morse, Brandon Sheriff, what are the veterans telling you about Sunday? What to expect in the regular season opener? Beginning of the season, they're telling me, build your routine, figure out how you want to handle yourself throughout the week, kind of figure out what you like, what you want to do, and how you watch film, how you do all this other stuff, and they're just telling me stay consistent, just keep doing what I've been doing, and it's complacency, you can't get into anything, just get bored with it. You just got to stay, competitive stamina is something we hear and see all the time around here. So it's just kind of that. Just build your routine and keep going week by week by week. And don't forget to take it in. It's your week. It's week one. Preseason matters, doesn't matter, however it is. But this is the real deal, and so obviously got to take it in and just enjoy every second of it. From the Friday night lights to Sunday afternoon, Cooper Hodges makes his NFL debut on Sunday. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all. Go Jags.
There you go, Cooper Hodges. Thank you to him, Chad Muma, and Ventrell Miller for all joining me earlier today down in the Jaguar locker room. We'll keep the NFL talk coming up at the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. My pal Jeff Kerr, CBSSports.com, not only looking at the Jags, but the AFC South and really the rest of the NFL, as again, it officially kicks off tomorrow night. Coming up next, they need answers in Gainesville. Billy Napier, what's going on after that loss to Miami? Nick De La Torre on 3 and Gators Online, one of our guys in Gainesville. We'll talk a little Florida Gators. Where do they go from here? That's next Wednesday night. Hacker After Dark.
If you're on the prowl for exclusive updates and insight, get your fill on Jaguars Today.
I like it.
With Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. 10 to noon weekdays. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Awaken 180 weight loss. You know, I have my weekly meeting with my coach, Kate, tomorrow. We're going to make a game plan for the week. It's what I've been doing for the better part of the last 6 months. And as a result of that, I'm down 94 pounds, approaching the 100-pound mark, which is just incredible. If you would have told me on February 17th when I weighed in at 317 pounds that just over 6.5 months later, I'd be weighing in at 223 pounds, I would have never believed you. But that's the power of Awaken 180 weight loss, the best weight loss program I've ever been on. If you need to lose 10, 20, 30 pounds, or if you need to lose a ton of weight like I had to, Awaken 180 can help you do whatever you need to do. They're changing lives. Quite frankly, they're saving lives. I'm one of them. You could be the next. Go visit their website, awaken180weightloss.com.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville where you can score big all season long.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and it is hot out there. You know that, Greg. But Honda has a plan for you on or off the road.
They do. There's a ton of Honda scooters, Honda mini motos, great for the beach. Also get you out in the woods with a Honda side-by-side. Plenty to do and stay cool.
Yeah, four-wheelers, and you can trick them out.
We can. From stereo systems to big builds, we do it all.
Everything's there for you to see. CyclesofJacksonville.com online or on Atlantic near Regency. Check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Want to show your kids something really cool? Take them by the Kuhn Flowers window display on Beach Boulevard. 1010XL's RJ Saunders here, and there's no better way to introduce your kids to Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Well, Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI defense firm.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to come out and experience one of the most beautiful and
unique golf courses in North Florida. Affordable golf, friendly service, and great times in the Hills Grill after play. Book your tee time, hiddenhillsgc.com.
Imagine stepping out of your cozy cabin on a crisp fall morning, coffee in hand, a stunning view from your private porch greets you. You spend the day relaxing at the tiki bar or taking a dip in the year-round pool while catching the big game on TV. Welcome to Island Oaks RV Resort, just past McClenny off exit 333. Book your cabin that sleeps 4 to 6 people. A close, affordable getaway with activities for the whole family. Make memories that last at Island Oaks RV Resort. IslandOaksRVResort.com.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. Through the Everbank London Getaway, one lucky winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and a pair of tickets to see the Jags play in London. To learn more and for official rules, visit everbank.com/London. No person necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and DC 18 or older. Entry period for the Everbank London Getaway Suites is from 8/5/24 to 9/5/24. To enter and for official rules, alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank NA.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Back here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Florida Gators began their season on Saturday in the Swamp. And, well, it was not good. They play this Saturday against Samford. They got to figure out a lot of things before that SEC slate starts a week from Saturday when Texas A&M rolls in. Let's recap whatever that was on Saturday in Gainesville with Nick De La Torre of Gators Online and On 3. He's certainly one of the go-to guys in Gainesville, and Nick is always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Nick, how you doing?
Doing well. Just looking forward to another game. Get that one out of your mind, I guess.
Nick, it was about as bad as you could have imagined going in. There's a lot to break down, but just in totality, I mean, what was that on Saturday at the Swamp?
Yeah, it's, there's probably a million different outcomes that you can have when two teams meet on a football field, and outside of being shut out, that was probably the worst outcome that could have happened for Florida and for Billy Napier. At no point was Florida competitive, and at no point did Florida threaten to win that football game. And I think the biggest part that is bothering fans is that offensively kind of looked the same as it has the last 2 years. Defensively, we were told there's a new defensive coordinator. Ron Roberts is calling the defense. There's 13 new faces from the transfer portal and from high school recruiting, 3 new coaches, and it's going to be different. I even told fans, hey, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, I expect Florida's defense to take a step forward. It did not at all. And when you look at it, Mario Cristobal and Billy Napier were hired 8 days apart. They have gone about building their rosters very differently. Billy Napier wanted to build through high school and supplement through the transfer portal. Miami went all in on the transfer portal. And not that one way is right or one way is wrong. Billy's will certainly take longer. I think it's probably more sustainable to build through high school and supplement through the transfer portal. But Saturday showed coaches who were hired almost the same week back in 2021 how far away their programs are, at least right now in that moment.
Nick De La Torre of Gators Online, on3.com, here with us on 1010XL. Nick, I've defended Billy Napier pretty regularly for the last year plus. I'm a Billy Napier fan. On Saturday, watching that game, I have to eat a little crow from people that have gotten on to me about defending Billy Napier. They had 8 months to prepare for that game. Everybody knew what was at stake. Everybody knew Cristobal was kind of on a hot seat a little bit in Miami. Billy was obviously, there was a lot of talk around him. It was a huge game for both programs, for both head coaches. and after 8 months of preparation, that is what the team looked like. That was hard for a lot of people that have defended Billy Napier to explain on Saturday.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is well, shoot, no one's given they haven't done Billy any favors with these first season openers. I think he would have loved a Chattanooga or a Sanford to open up. But you're right. I mean, it's 8 months now. Now maybe it's hard to get some film because you're looking to see what Cam Ward had to do at Washington State. Miami had 41 new players based on the high school and transfer portal. So maybe you're not sure exactly about the personnel and you're having to watch other things. But like you said, Brian, you had 8 months to do it. And really, it's just you laid an egg. And I said going into the season, hey, Billy Napier's 11-14 after 3 years or after 2 years. There's a segment of the fan base because this is a rivalry, because it's Miami. But if you lose this game, there's a segment of the fan base that won't come back on your side outside of going 11-1 and beating Georgia and Texas and winning the SEC. There's a segment of fans that I thought just would not come back on Billy Napier's side if they lost to Miami. And the loss to Miami was not – I didn't envision a 41-17 loss where Florida looked like that. So I think that we're seeing it. Certainly people are pretty loud on social media after it. I get it. You don't like losing to rivals. You don't like losing to Miami, especially like that, and especially when you had 8 months and it was in the swamp with 90,000 people, 90,000 fans. I had one of the Miami guys be like, the swamp wasn't that loud. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, they were loud before the game. But then Miami wins the kickoff, defers, so Florida's offense is on. 5 plays off the field. Miami goes down and scores. Florida fans, the swamp was looking for a moment to grab hold of, for any kind of hope. And Florida just offered no hope at all on Saturday.
A couple of more for Nick De La Torre, Gators Online and On 3. He's with us here on 1010XL in Jacksonville. And look, there's certain aspects of the team I want to talk about with you, Nick, but let's get to what transpired earlier this week at Billy Napier's press conference when he talked about the negativity on social media. We got to get back to work and not worry about what people were saying in their basement in rural central Florida, right? Never mind the basement comment. Obviously, they'd be underwater if they were in a basement in central Florida. But that aside, that rubbed people the wrong way. And I get what Billy's saying, but when a fan base is angry and then you go to a press conference and you say something like that about some of your fans, I don't know. I think Billy probably, if he had it to do over again, probably would not have said that. Do you agree?
Yeah, and I'm really calm about it. He was asked basically three straight questions about the fan negativity and how do you guys deal with it. It's a social media age; you kind of can't escape it. And he answered everything. He was taking responsibility, and it's like he even said, "Listen, when you play like we did, you deserve that kind of criticism." And I think it was just in the line of 3 straight questions about it. Spoke more than 800 words in the answer to those 3 questions. I think it's just those 39 words about talking about the basement. And I think it was just a chance at humor to maybe like, hey, let's get off of this topic in the press conference. And it just fell flat. Nick Saban can't make that joke and wouldn't make that joke because there's a lot of fans that live in rural areas that follow Alabama. And Nick Saban wouldn't have made that joke. And I don't think he meant anything by it. Billy's from a small town in Georgia. He doesn't have any, city elitist in him. He's from a small town. He's from a rural area. I think it was just a joke that missed the mark. It's just something you can't say when you're 11-15 and you're coming off of a 41-17 loss. But I think in the context, and obviously the clip that went viral on Twitter, if it played 7 seconds longer, it would have said, but maybe we deserve that criticism, which is why I provided the full context in my story and then on Twitter as well. It was just, I think, in my opinion, a joke, trying to create some levity in a situation that completely fell flat.
Yeah, I agree. I understand what Billy's saying, and I understand the frustration of all those questions about it, but that is the reality. That's what you get at 11-15 in 26 games as the head coach of the University of Florida. Now to the team. Nick, here's my biggest problem with the team. They have Eugene Wilson, and that's it at wide receiver, man. I mean, this is Florida, right? This is Anthony and Hilliard and Green and Percy Harvin and on down the line, all the great players, Riley Cooper, Lewis Murphy, you just ramble them off. They have nothing as far as a playmaker in the skill position, a wide receiver, except Eugene Wilson. So if I'm an opposing defensive coordinator, I'm going to bracket him, and Florida can't beat you downfield. I mean, that was striking to me, the difference in athletes on the Miami roster compared to the Florida roster.
Yeah, and that's one thing, I had mentioned going into the spring or right after the season, going into that winter transfer portal season. I said, listen, Florida has to find someone to complement Eugene Wilson. If you go back to the 2020 season, remember when Kyle Pitts went down with a concussion in that Georgia game up there in Jacksonville, it became a lot easier to cover Kadarius Toney because you didn't have to worry about Kyle Pitts. And my thought process was Florida has to get someone that keeps defensive coordinators up, or at least piques a defensive coordinator's interest. If not, like you said, they'll bracket Eugene and just take him out of games. I thought Florida did a good job. Chim Dike came from Wisconsin. He PR'd. He looks faster. As a redshirt senior, PR'd his speed 5 different times in the offseason. I think he can be a guy. You get Elijah Badger from Arizona State. They try to take a couple deep shots to him during the game, so I think you're showing it. You've got younger guys like Aiden Mizell, Andy Jean. Andy Jean was hurt during the game. Tank Hawkins, TJ Abrams. They have some guys, but until you show it, until you prove it and put it on tape, like you said, people are just going to key in on Eugene Wilson, and Florida wasn't able to put anything on tape with those other guys that will keep Tennessee's defensive coordinator up, or Texas A&M's defensive coordinator, Jay Bateman, who's very familiar with Florida's roster, having been their linebackers coach last year. So I think there are guys, Ryan. I don't think it's a room devoid of talent. But until Florida puts something on tape, for sure teams are going to key in on Eugene Wilson.
Couple of more for Nick De La Torre of Gators Online and On 3. Nick, as we begin making the turn for home, Graham Mertz, we don't know yet. It's still early in the week. We know that earlier this week, I believe on Monday, Lagway took all the reps because Mertz is still in concussion protocol. I mean, it's Samford at the end of the day. Samford lost to West Georgia. Let's not sugarcoat this. Florida should be able to roll out there with their eyes closed and win the game. I mean, this is an ideal scenario for Lagway to start, right, if they want to rest Mertz until Texas A&M?
Yeah, it absolutely should be. Graham Mertz, I've been looking to see if maybe he had concussion history, but I hadn't really found anything like that. Concussion protocol, coming 2 days after a game, it would have been highly unlikely for Mertz to practice. So there's really not anything, crazy newsworthy that DJ's getting those reps. But yeah, I think when Graham Mertz is healthy, he'll be your starting quarterback, and it'll be an interesting situation if that's the case. Let's say Graham can't play Saturday. DJ looks phenomenal. I think Florida and Billy Napier goes right back to Graham Mertz in the Texas A&M game. I don't know that fans will be happy about that if DJ looked fantastic and Graham Mertz is going to be the starting quarterback. But that's Florida. We went into this season saying it, knowing it, and believing it. This is Graham Mertz's team. And DJ Lagway is going to have a year to kind of learn and get involved in some spots. But, yeah, I would expect Florida will probably know more by Wednesday, as we get those SEC. It's not mandated yet, but Florida's going to start doing their Wednesday injury report that the SEC is mandating this year. They'll start that this week. So we'll get a better idea Wednesday. But regardless, going into the year, this Samford game is a game that I said DJ Lagway should play more snaps than Graham Mertz. Of course, that means you're not having that 2021 Samford game where they hang 50 in the swamp. My thought process saying that going into the year was that Florida would have a lead and DJ would get more snaps in the second half. But I would expect to see DJ Lagway get some reps and get some experience this week against, a Sanford team that you mentioned lost to West Georgia, who was playing its first ever Division I football game.
What was your opinion, quickly, on Lagway on Saturday?
I thought he was okay, but listen, I get it. I'm going to sell hope about DJ Lagway. I think he's going to be the future of the program. But Florida was down 41-10. Miami doesn't care if DJ Lagway is running or throwing or gaining yards. They're just waiting for the time to take off. So I think DJ is going to be a really good player. I'm intrigued to see how he runs, but he wasn't facing a first-string defense trying to get stops or really worrying about getting stops.
Nick, final question, and I'm sure you've gotten this a lot. I got it a ton on Saturday and really throughout the weekend. We're just past Labor Day. There are 11 games, at least 11 games for Florida to still play in 2024. And every question I got, or at least 90% of the questions I got, were Lane Kiffin related. All right. I was getting Lane Kiffin this and Lane Kiffin that. What's Billy's buyout? Would Lane come to Gainesville? This, that, and the other. I mean, is that where we are right now after what happened against Miami? Is there any coming back from this for Billy Napier this year?
Yeah, they go 11-1 or 10-2, and the narrative changes. Listen, maybe Miami's just really good. Maybe we get to November and Miami is undefeated and goes to their first ACC championship game. Maybe Florida goes on the road and beats Tennessee and Knoxville, beats Kentucky, beats Mississippi State, beats Texas A&M. Maybe Florida finishes the season 6-2 in SEC play and just misses out going to the SEC championship game. There's definitely ways winning football games would keep Billy Napier in Gainesville. It's just when you look at the schedule and you take out the opportunity that you had of adding Miami into the win column and then trying to find those 6, 7, 8 games that would give you a winning record. And Billy Napier, unless they win 8 games this year, will have a losing record after 3 seasons. Outside of that, I don't know. It's a bunch of money to pay him to stop showing up to work. That's always a factor. And then on top of that, it would be, what are you paying? What does the next coach want? So, yeah, there is a way. If Billy Napier is winning football games, that he'll be back in 2025. And maybe we just didn't give Miami enough credit. And maybe Miami's just a really, really good football team, and that they're going to make a bunch of teams this year look the way Florida looked. And we'll see a better Florida in the coming weeks. I just don't know that what we saw Saturday inspires a lot of fans. And I don't think anyone listening to me ramble on about this thinks Florida will win 8 or 9 games this year based on what they saw last Saturday.
Florida Sanford, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL in the city of Jacksonville. Nick, tell the good folks here in Jacksonville, Gators Online, On 3, what they can look forward to with your coverage on the coming days.
Yeah, well, that's Gators Online. You can subscribe there, get all of our work, insiders on our message board as well. Corey and Keith do a great job covering recruiting. And, rain or shine, in all kinds of weather, we report on the Florida Gators over there at GatorsOnline.com.
Nick De La Torre. Nick, always appreciate the time. Know you're busy. Really thank you for it, man. We'll talk soon.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Making the game last a little longer.
Join me, Hacker.
And me, Leon Sir.
And Coach Campo. 2 hours after the final whistle on game day. It's the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Lawn on 1010XL.
Duval. Jaguars football is officially back. Be there for the Jaguars 2024 home opener when they go head-to-head with the Cleveland Browns. Join us as we celebrate Hispanic heritage and take the field at Everbank Stadium for the first time during our 30th season. Lock in your seats now for the 1 p.m. kick by going to Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you back at the bank.
Mueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a dust bunny breeder from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Steve Johnson. Welcome to the show, Steve.
It's great to be here, Alex.
Yeah, you don't have to answer it in the form of a question, Steve.
What is this game show?
See, that's another question.
Are you going to ask me about air conditioners?
Yeah, okay. How about we just send the Bueller guys over and you can annoy them with all your questions? Johnny?
That's right, Steve. Bueller Air and Plumbing can answer all your air conditioning questions. Repair options, replacement models, and how to make your AC last longer while saving electricity. Making sure you are cool.
Where is the parking lot?
You're killing me, Steve.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by November 7th.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
He used to catch passes for Spurrier.
Oh, my! What a great catch in the corner!
Now he throws opinions at Napier. Chris Doring, Tuesday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah on 1010XL.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your home and save big? Now's the perfect time with Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, it's buy one, get one 40% off on all windows and doors. That's right, buy one, get one 40% off plus flexible financing options to fit your budget. Our custom-built energy-efficient windows and doors are made with Vibrex, 2 times stronger than vinyl, giving you the durability you need and the savings you want. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to book your free consultation today. Don't wait. This offer won't last. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613. Proud partner of the Florida Gators.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Dolphins, Sunday at 1 o'clock in Miami, Florida. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL radio as the 2024 NFL regular season is set to kick off. Kind of the unofficial kickoff for our program seems to be having my buddy Jeff Kerr of CBSSports.com on. We've had him on the last couple of years right before the season, and that starts again tonight here on Hacker After Dark. Jeff, how we doing, bud?
Pretty good. By the way, Ryan, that is a sneaky good game on Sunday, Jaguars-Dolphins.
I like it. I like it a lot. Two teams, and what's interesting, Jeff, it means week one, obviously, but tiebreaker ramifications, two teams that believe they're good enough to go to the playoffs, if not win their own division. I agree. I think Jaguars-Dolphins has the potential to be one of the best games of the weekend.
I would agree. And, obviously with this week, it's the big games, Chiefs-Ravens, Eagles-Packers, the first two games. Lions-Rams is big. We all know about the 49ers and Jets, which, again, that is week one, right? They tend to put the biggest matchups of the season the first week and in prime time, but it feels like a lot of the Sunday 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games are kind of getting ignored. And if you're watching one of those games, especially Jaguars-Dolphins, that is something that I personally will be tuning into at 1.
See, to me, the first month for the Jaguars is about survival. It begins Sunday in Miami, but they go at Miami, home Cleveland, at Buffalo on Monday night, at Houston. Jeff, it's 4 playoff teams from last year out of the gate, 3 of which are on the road, 1 of which is on a short week. Houston comes after a Monday night trip to Buffalo. The NFL didn't give the Jaguars any favors. What's your thought on Jacksonville as we head into this 2024 season?
Well, I disagree with their owner and say this is the best Jaguars team he's ever seen. I think the 99 Jaguars would probably argue that one. But, I mean, this is a good football team. It's a revamped football team. They're definitely an unknown, right? So when I did my ceiling and floor predictions, I really liked what I see out of Jacksonville, but one of the reasons why I had a floor with them having a losing record is, and it's not even them, it's just the AFC South is really good. You got Houston, you got the Colts, the Titans are better. I mean, Jacksonville, they can stay status quo, which is really good for them. I kind of like how they're an unknown bunch, but honestly, Ryan, to me, if Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence, we're not having this discussion. This is a 10-win football team.
Jeff Kerr, CBSSports.com. It's interesting in watching training camp and the preseason. Granted, it was a small sample size, but I got to tell you, losing Calvin Ridley, releasing Zay Jones, releasing Jamal Agnew, bringing in Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis, and certainly having Kirk return from injury. You also talk about Devin Duvernay and Parker Washington. I know we've talked about Parker in the past, you and I. I like this Jaguar passing game, and I didn't even mention Evan Ingram and Travis Etienne. Even despite losing Ridley, Jeff, and I'm trying not to have my teal and black blinders on here, I think skill position-wise, the Jaguars are certainly deeper and maybe even a tad better than they were coming into last season.
Yeah, and the Calvin Ridley thing obviously was a story in Jacksonville this offseason, right? Losing him to a division rival. But when you look at it through, and again, I don't cover the AFC South, but I look at it as objective as I can, and I'm like, ooh, Calvin Ridley got paid a lot of money to be good, I guess, last year. I don't want to say he's great. He's not a top 15, top 20 player. He certainly didn't look like that last year, but he got paid like one. But I agree with you. I think they did the best they could with the resources they got. And I think Brian Thomas is going to be one of the sleepers of this draft. I liked him coming out of LSU. I think he has a chance to be the number 1 receiver there. Gabe Davis is hit or miss to me. I thought he got a lot of flack in Buffalo, but I mean, let's be real, Ryan. The number 1 receiver on this football team is Evan Ingram. What did he end up with? 100? How many catches did he end up with?
114. He was too shy of the single-season record for a tight end in NFL history.
Yeah. I thought he was close to Ertz. I knew he didn't pass him, but I thought he was close. But, man, you can get another 100-catch season out of a guy like Evan Ingram, you're going to be going places. And once again, I like seeing former Giants have success because I think the Giants are one of the worst run organizations in football that have really good players and they just don't know how to use them. And so every time I see Evan Ingram actually be a good tight end, it kind of brings joy to my heart.
Well, there's a level of unknown on the defensive side of the ball, Jeff. We didn't even see Eric Armstead in the preseason. He's going to be good to go for Sunday. Darnell Savage only played in the final preseason game. Ronald Darby played very sparingly as well. Those are the 3 vets they brought in. But then Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson and Jarian Jones. I mean, they added so much in free agency in the draft on the defense to go with the staples like Walker and Hines Allen and Tyson Campbell. And unfortunately, I guess, you got Tua and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle right out of the gate. But there is a lot of intrigue with this Ryan Nielsen defense and what they could be this season beginning on Sunday.
And Ryan Nielsen got a lot out of the Falcons defense last year. I know the Falcons changed coaches. They got a defensive guy in Raheem Morris in there, but it must have been tough for them, even if it was a different system, to have Ryan Nielsen just walk out that door after what he did for them last year. And now you got Ryan Nielsen with an actual pass rush, right? He was getting by with like Calais Campbell and Grady Jarrett last year. Now you got Josh Hines-Allen. You got Trayvon Walker had a good year last year. As you mentioned, Eric Armstead. That is the more intriguing part of this Jacksonville defense to me. Is I feel like the pass rush is there. Is the secondary good enough? Like, it's funny, as someone who's covered Ronald Darby when he was with the Eagles, it's hard to believe that was 7 years ago, right? Ronald Darby's still in the league. He's still a starting cornerback. Darnell Savage was obviously miscast in Green Bay. Curious to see how that works in Jacksonville. Andre Sisco, I still think, has an opportunity to be a good player. But, yeah, it's definitely a different defense. But, look, Jacksonville's like Philadelphia in a sense with their defense. It can't get any worse than it was last year, right?
It was bad towards the end of the year, which is in large part why Mike Caldwell, the coordinator, was shown the door and why Ryan Nielsen was brought in. A couple of more for Jeff Kerr, CBSSports.com, here with us on 1010XL in Jacksonville. Jeff, let's talk about Sunday. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, Tua got paid. Jalen Waddle got paid. Tyreek Hill was voted as the best player in the NFL. Which was interesting, I guess. Patrick Mahomes might have something to say about that. And then the running game, with Mostert, obviously Achane. They got a lot of really good players on offense. I guess the question in Miami is very similar to Jacksonville. New defensive coordinator, no Bradley Chubb to start the year. Jalen Phillips maybe on a snap count coming off an Achilles. Jacksonville's going to have to take advantage of that Dolphin defense because you would have to figure Miami's going to put some points up on offense on Sunday.
Oh, I agree. And the real question with Miami is, can they beat good football teams? We still – it's not determined yet if Jacksonville's going to be a good football team. I mean, I think they're going to be a good football team, but they struggled against teams that were good last year. You looked at Philadelphia, you looked at Buffalo, you looked at Kansas City. They couldn't beat those teams. Jacksonville should be on that list. They should be competing in a wide open AFC. I shouldn't say it's wide open, but it's a very tough AFC. But Jacksonville should be one of those teams, and I think it's a good litmus test for both of them, not just Miami, but for Jacksonville as well, because the Dolphins have been a playoff team the last 2 years. And a game like this, it's a swing game. It can go a long way toward, being the 5 seed in the playoffs or being the 7 seed. And you know how the AFC is. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, every team plays the Dolphins this year in the AFC South?
Yes, that is correct. The AFC South plays the AFC East, yep.
Yeah. I still got to remember all the schedules here. But, look, that's a swing game, right? Maybe the Colts don't beat the Dolphins. I don't think the Colts match up well with the Dolphins. Maybe – the Texans don't beat the Dolphins. By the way, Ryan, I know we haven't talked about the division yet, and I love this Texans team. I think they're going to be good. But don't you feel that a tougher schedule means you might take a step back?
Well, it's interesting, and I was going to get to the division here. You read my mind. Houston plays Miami, and that's part of that ridiculous, 3 games in 12 days in December, where Houston plays Miami, Baltimore, and Kansas City. Literally those 3 teams in a 12-day stretch right around Christmas, which is a crazy hard scenario for the Texans. I love Houston. I think they've done a great job in free agency, and I like what they've done in the draft, certainly. But they're going to find out pretty quick what it's like to, A, play a first-place schedule, which is what Jacksonville had to play last year, and B, to no longer be the hunter but be the hunted. What do you think about the division as far as 1 to 4? It sounds like Houston for you, Jacksonville, Indy, Tennessee. How do you have those 4 ranked out as we start the year?
Yeah, so when I did my ceiling 4, it was tough for me to pick between Jacksonville and Indianapolis, because I think Indianapolis is a really good football team and Anthony Richardson is healthy and on the field, because Jonathan Taylor's back to being Jonathan Taylor. They improved at wide receiver. Their offensive line finally lived up to the height we've been giving them the last couple years last year, and they got some underrated pieces on defense. So I think Indianapolis is the sleeper team there. I still think Jacksonville's going to be a good football team. I think they're good enough to compete for the playoffs. But I agree with you, Houston. I think they go back down to the pack a bit, because they're going to play a first-place schedule. We seem to forget this, and you and I obviously forgot it last year. Jacksonville played a first-place schedule, and they were a 9-8 football team. And, it's funny how much criticism the Jaguars get. When was the last time they had back-to-back winning seasons? Was it when Coughlin was there?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time, and that's something we've talked about. They had 4 wins combined in 33 games in 2020 and 2021. They were 4-29. And yet people are upset now about 2 9-8 seasons, which is kind of ironic to me here in the city of Jacksonville. Quickly, you mentioned Indy. Preseason, right? Don't want to read too much into it. Anthony Richardson didn't look great. I mean, obviously it doesn't seem like you have concern, but talking to people that cover the Colts, that's going to come down to Anthony Richardson. If he is who they think he is, they're going to be good. But if he's not, they could have problems there, correct?
Yeah, oh yeah. It feels like almost like a poor man's can't do it, right? He can't throw the football. He doesn't go through his progressions, but the guy's a weapon. There's no doubt about that. And maybe because I'm so used to the dual threat quarterback, just seeing Jalen and seeing Lamar all the time. But I mean, it is a weapon. It's a weapon that you got to stop if you're a defense, and you definitely have to account for. And I'm just going off the small sample size I had last year. The Colts are a playoff team if Anthony Richardson was their quarterback and if Gardner Minshew wasn't. And, maybe they were the team that would have made the playoffs last year instead of Houston. But, yeah, you're right. It's definitely a concern, and they need Anthony Richardson to take that next step to be the top 5 pick that he was, especially throwing the football. And if not, it's between Houston and Jacksonville for this division, and I think that takes away potential team competing for a playoff spot. By the way, Ryan, I know the Titans made a lot of changes this offseason. They're going to be better. I still don't think they're a playoff team.
Well, I was getting to Tennessee next because I want to go league-wide with you as we wrap up. Again, Jeff Kerr of CBSSports.com. I remember back in the day when the Washington Commanders signed everybody under the sun in free agency, and they always won the offseason, and there was hope, springs eternal, and then September rolls around and reality sets in. Tennessee signed a ton of guys. But I almost think, Jeff, it was overkill, man. I mean, they brought in so many free agents that I don't know what that says about their future, right? They don't seem to have a lot of draft picks developing there if they had to bring in, 15, 20 unrestricted free agents. And I think they're going to be better, but I have real questions as to what they're developing as far as young guys with the amount of guys they brought in free agency.
I would agree. And look, I like Tony Pollard too, but you paid him a lot of money. You obviously paid Calvin Ridley a lot of money. Tyler Boyd, I'm talking to people in Cincinnati. They think Jermaine Burton's is better than Tyler Boyd, and they drafted him. So, and I would tend to agree with that. I love Jermaine Burton as a player coming out. I think he's going to make an impact in Cincinnati. But yeah, you're right. They just seem to pay a lot of people. Remember, they paid some people last year, and it kind of fell flat on their face. I still don't think their offensive line is where it needs to be. I think their defense is good, especially up front, but are we sure about their secondary? I don't know. It felt like they spent to just kind of compete with the other 3 teams in the division. Tennessee always has a hard time admitting to its fan base like they're not going to be good, and for some reason they just don't get a top 5 pick because they feel that way, and they really need one.
Jeff, as we begin to wrap up league-wide, is it Kansas City and everybody else, and who would be Kansas City if that's the case in your opinion? Who is Kansas City's biggest threat in the AFC?
Well, it's the Chiefs until they're proven otherwise. I still think Baltimore was the best team in the AFC last year. They just, for some reason, covering that AFC Championship game, they got away from their identity as what they were doing all year, and they had some costly mistakes deep in Kansas City territory, and it cost them a chance at Super Bowl and to win a Super Bowl. So I still think Baltimore's up there. A lot of people are crowning Houston. I'm not ready to do that yet. I love the team. I think they're really good, but they could take a step back this year, even though they could be a better football team record-wise. They're still – you're right, Ryan. The AFC is crazy. Like, I'm still not ready to write off Buffalo. I think the Jets are going to be really good, especially if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. It's going to be an interesting year, but I still say Baltimore's the biggest threat.
San Francisco in the NFC, do you see anybody else like a Detroit or maybe a team that comes out of nowhere?
Detroit is my pick to go to Super Bowl out of the NFC. I think it could be a Kansas City-Detroit Super Bowl. I'm not ready to make that an official pick yet, but I think Detroit is the best team. I think Philadelphia's got a lot of talent. Obviously, I cover them. But, there's a lot of – I don't even want to say internal stuff. There's just were a lot of changes this offseason. We got to see how that pans out. They can't afford a bad start with Nick Sirianni, where he's on the hot seat or not. I think people are overhyping Green Bay a little bit. I do think that Green Bay is going to be good, but they're not the best team in their division. San Francisco, Seattle's a team that I don't know how they're going to be. I love Mike McDonald, but are they going to be good? Are they going to be like an 11-win football team because they got this guy, or are they going to take a step back because of who Geno Smith is? You know what my bold prediction is, Hacker? I think Dennis Allen will be the first coach fired.
In New Orleans, yeah. There's some hot seat talk with him. And I'll tell you this, watching Tampa Bay, they came here for a joint practice. I think the Bucs are going to be good again. I think the Falcons are improved.
I do too.
Yeah, I think the Saints are going to be in trouble. I would tend to agree with that.
Yeah. It's one of those where no one talks about Tampa Bay because the Falcons, they made all the all-season moves and they made all the headlines. But, look, Tampa Bay didn't get worse last year or this offseason. I'll say that. And I know Dave Canales ain't there anymore, but look, I think we all know Baker Mayfield has talent, and he's got enough playmakers around him too. And the Bucs drafted well. Graham Barton was a pick I really liked. You guys saw them in the joint practice. I think they're going to be good again.
The marathon of the 2024 NFL regular season begins Thursday night. Jeff Kerr, CBSSports.com. Jeff, tell the good folks here in Jacksonville what you have coming out on CBSSports.com as the season kicks off.
Well, I do have my ceiling floor preview that's out. I don't do record predictions. I just predict like how good you can be or how bad you can be. And I'm sure Jacksonville will give me a mixed bag on it because they're one of the teams I'm just not sure on yet. But I do like them. So that's out. I got an article with Bill Cowher about the kickoff rule. Talked to Nate Burleson. Talked to Matt Ryan. Obviously, I got my Eagles coverage for CBS Philly, so I'm doing a lot of that. It's mostly Eagles and Philly stuff, but I do cover the league, and I'll be watching pretty much every game on Sunday, and we'll be rewatching them on Monday.
Hey, Jeff, I know you're busy. We always appreciate the time. Thank you as always, pal. We'll do it again soon.
Yep, sounds great. Thanks, Ryan.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
And thank you to my buddy Jeff Kerr of CBSSports.com for joining us tonight here on Hacker After Dark, as we are less than 24 hours away from the NFL regular season kicking off. Again, Kansas City hosting Baltimore tomorrow night to kick off the 2024 NFL campaign. Of course, the Jaguars and the Dolphins, Week 1 action Sunday, 1 o'clock in Miami, Florida. You will hear the game right here on 1010XL. The fifth quarter with Dave Campo, Leon Searcy, and myself will be 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Dolphins go final. And we spent a ton of time on the NFL tonight. We will do our official predictions right at the top of the show tomorrow as far as division winners, playoff teams, everything along those lines. So certainly looking forward to that. But yeah, it starts tomorrow, and we absolutely cannot wait. We also spent a lot of time on the Florida Gators and the world of college football. To the victors go the spoils. Boy, Miami runs this state now, don't they? After going into Gainesville and beating Florida, just quite frankly annihilating Florida. And with Florida State struggles right now, 0-2 out of the gate, it is a good time to be a fan of the Miami Hurricanes. Dylan Denmark was your producer tonight. Dylan, great job as always. I'm the hacker Ryan Green. And again, Jacksonville, thank you for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us right here on Hacker After Dark on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true.